guys, and welcome back for another week of Porsche Cup action here at the Portimao circuit for week 6. My name is Matt Emery with Coach Dave Academy. We're here for a bit of wet weather at the Portimao circuit. So yeah, let's jump into the hot lap. So let's get into the hot lap guide then for the Portimao circuit. Obviously, pretty heavy rain for this week. So we've got a nice wet lap for you here. Starting towards turn 1, obviously got this big heavy braking zone downhill, which is very, very tricky in the wet. You've got to be really careful. You put the brakes on really gently, so your initial brake inputs need to be really smooth. So just ramping up slowly the brake pedal and increasing your pressure really gently. You don't really want to brake more than 50% for a lot of these corners, just to avoid the locking up. Especially in the fixed series, you're going to want to move your brake bias very heavily rearwards. It's already, obviously, this is a wet setup, so you already have it done for you in this. But if you're doing any fixed racing this week, just make sure you move it to the rear. Yeah, heading down to turn 1, so just notice how gently we're onto the brake pedal initially. And then we actually do slightly lock up here, but we get away with it as we come slightly off the brake pedal. Looking to turn into the apex normally at turn 1. Obviously, we're not braking offline or anything. Otherwise, you've just got such a tight angle to turn in at, and you're just going to lose so much exit speed. So yeah, turning in as we normally would, braking as well, just as we pop over the crest. So pretty much in line with this line here on the left-hand side, which is at 200 meters. As I said, up to about 50%, down to second gear, using the curb on the inside as well. And then it's really about straightening up the exit as much as you can before you get on the power. Short shift up to third as well on the exit. And then just a slight left through here. And then a slight touch of the curb. And then we just aim towards the apex, down to first gear. And again, you'll notice I'm really trying to get the car straight before we accelerate. And that's something that I find really beneficial in the wet. So you notice as I come into here, we're braking from the usual point. I get all my rotation done on the apex here. So as I'm braking, got still at 15% on at the apex. I'm just full lock, trying to get the car straight. Obviously in the dry, you're going to be somewhere out over here on the exit. But I'm just trying to straighten up the car as much as I can and then floor it. Straighter your car is, pretty simple, the better traction you're going to have, especially in the wet conditions. So then we put the power down. We've also got a really nice line and a really nice run for this left-hander. If you put on the power too early, you end up somewhere over here, you're just going to compromise this corner massively. So that's another reason why I'm also taking it really, really deep into this corner and then cutting back. Just trying to open up this left-hander as much as I can. And then use a slight bit of the white line up to third gear, just let the car drift out. you're not really meant to touch the curb too much, but you can get away with it here. So I short shift up to 4th on the curb, get decent traction, and then again braking pretty much on the dry line for this downhill part. And again, just as we pop over the crest, just topping on the brake pedal, you've got this nice white line as well to use as a reference here. And then down, braking on the dry line, down to 1st gear, again, going really deep on the initial part, and then doing all our turning and all our braking at the apex to get a nice straight exit. Also, you'll notice this part of the track will have more grip, just as it's not the rubbered line. So the dry line, the rubbered line, as we call it, will have slightly less grip than off the rubbered line. Sorry. So we also get this half of the car is off the racing line, so you get a bit more traction as well. What I'm going to do is just show you my brake trace as well, just in Delta. So we'll hop over to that now. So this is the Delta files for turn 5 for this circuit, as I was saying. So you can see here, we're really gently onto the brake pedal. We don't sort of spike it. We don't slam the brake on at all. Just really gently put the brake pedal on just to make sure we don't lock the front tyres. Yeah, you want to be really gentle, really gentle with the brake, especially as it's downhill as well. And peak pressure is about 56% or so. And again, look how smooth and curved you need to be. And then as we get towards the apex, get all the turning done, we trail finally off the brake. So you can see the steering here. You can see as we turn in, that's when pretty much when we come off the brake and we start getting on the throttle again. As you can see, that's pretty much at the apex. As I was saying, you really want to slow down the car at the apex and do all your turning there as well, just to make sure you get a really straight exit. And as I said before, this is a really useful tool for you guys as well if you wanted to compare, see where you're losing time. If you're half a second off or so, and you want to know where your weakest points are and what you're doing wrong, this would be a really good tool to use. So yeah, we definitely recommend using it if you guys haven't already. But yeah, let's jump back into the hot lap. And as I said, just make sure we're getting this nice straight exit. Not really short shifting too much there either, and then completely flat as we come into this second section of the track. Just putting the brakes on quite early here, just before we get to this curb on the left-hand side, and then just really gently, just playing with the brake pedal, still trailing, and then a bit of throttle just to get the car over the minimum speeds. Down to 2nd gear, car gets a bit sideways as we just gently touch the white line here on the entry. Really important this one, just to avoid the apex completely. I know it sounds counterproductive, but it just makes your exit too tight, and you really need a straight exit for this one. Also the corner apex, so the apex is slightly off camber, so as you go around it, you just lose grip as you go over the crest on the exit. So it's just better to take a nice wide line around here. In 2nd gear, you'll get this nice bit of grip, obviously around the outside, away from the rubbered line. And then we cut back for a nice straight exit. And then full throttle as you head down the hill. Now I've seen a couple of different lines you can take here. So originally I was taking a really wide line here to avoid the rubbered racing line. You get a bit more grip that way, but I actually found it was quicker to just take the curb and take the dry line. So here you have a bit of a lift initially. I actually touched the brake slightly as well, only about 5%, just a dab of the brake. And then back on throttle. The car naturally then, as the fronts get on the rubbered part of the track, the car just understeers. So you'll just hit a wall of understeer, which will feel like it's going to take you miles off. Yeah, the car then grips up again towards the white line on the exit. And then you can get back on the throttle. Whereas if you go around here, you get a bit more grip, but you lose a lot of time just because you're knocking off a bit more speed and you're not taking the shortest line. So I found it was better to take the curb here, lift off the throttle, and then back on it again. You notice I had a bit of a stab at it as the car wasn't turning as much as I liked. But yeah, so just play that as you go. If you need a lift or an extra lift, then go for it. But yeah, I found it was quicker than taking a nice wide line round the corner. We then head up towards this blind section here. I mean, from this point you can literally see nothing, so just make sure you have your reference points for this one. Getting on the brakes nice and early, down to 2nd gear, and taking a really nice wide line again, so you can just cut back and have a nice straight exit. I'll just show you that once more so we have our reference points spot on. So in terms of brake points, it's again, you're looking towards this white line here on the right hand side just to start hitting the brakes. Just as you go past it, you want to start braking. And just let the car gently trail out towards the outside. You have a bit more grip out there anyway. and then you cut back, completely floor it. You got a nice straight exit and a nice run down towards the end of the lap, completely downhill. And then this one, different to the last sort of left-hander that we had, you wanted to go round the apex. Just helps you maintain the minimum speed. Also, you've got this nice, the way all the discarded rubber is out here. Nice bit of grip around the racing line. Slight lift, and then back on the full throttle. And then again, braking just about 40%. Again, just missing the apex to avoid the rubbered line and get a nice straight exit. Get on the throttle and then down to the final corner. And then again, just avoiding this rubbered line at the apex, just as you have no grip there, the car's just going to understeer and slide all over the place. So you want to kind of brake in the middle of the circuit and then just let the car run out wide. You have a nice bit of grip out here. Gently get on the throttle, the car will understeer as you switch from the marbles out here. You can see sort of there's this rubbered line here. And as you come back from the marbles across the rubbered line, the car naturally just starts picking up understeer again as you don't have that much grip. So just watch out for that. Just be really careful to get on the throttle. You notice I didn't quite get full throttle until we were properly straight. So here about 90% on the throttle still. And then bang on the full throttle. Again, just avoiding the rubbered line for this corner, the final corner, sorry. Bit of brake pedal just to get the front in. And then we're really just lining up the final corner. The exit, sorry, as well, just to make sure we get a nice straight exit. So we compromise the entry by taking this wide line, but then we cut back really nicely, floor it from about here, and then just let the car drift out again towards the white line, and we pop over the hill, and that completes a lap of the Portimao circuit. So that was the hot lap guide then for week 6 at the Portimao circuit. Hope that was useful for you guys. Obviously, it's a bit different in the wet. Check out all the latest data packs as well over at our website, coachdaveacademy.com. As well, let us know any of the comments that you have in the Discord. If you've got any questions, someone will be there to help you. But yeah, I will see you guys for week 7. So take care, guys.